Hey everyone, welcome back to Around the Emirates podcast with Sara Mousa, where I speak to guests from across UAE about topics you want to hear about. Today I have a very special international segment of the episode where I speak to Rachael. Hi, Rachael.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, it's an absolute pleasure. So the reason I am so excited to have Rachael on the show today is that not only is she a transformation coach and a founder of the company called It's So Simple, she also helps women build their bodies from inside and out through this amazing transformation program. Rachael, I have so many questions, so please tell me your story.
Thank you so much. I have actually been through my own transformation. I am 44, mom of 3 kids and 2 dogs, and a hamster. I found myself in very tricky situations through my life. A lot of my adulthood was spent battling issues with food and just not really having the education and guidance that I probably needed growing up around food and nutrition and fitness, and found myself on every extreme diet out there, from keto to Atkins to all these diets are so unsustainable. And when we don't find something that's sustainable for us, it can only take us so far before we revert to ground zero and find ourselves in an even worse situation. So at the age of 39, about 4.5 years ago, I found myself with 3 very young kids, really unhealthy, unable to even take them to the park, which is about a 10-minute walk from my house, because I was severely overweight, about 90 kilos. And for my height, 5'5", that's pretty pretty heavy. And my back was affected, my feet were bleeding, I had real difficulties. And again, like, I have been fit at certain points in my life and training and attending to my nutrition, but they were always done in a very extreme way. And I decided then and there, sitting on the couch, when my kids said, "Mommy, can we go to the park?" And I said, "No, can we just play puzzles on the floor?" Because that's all I was comfortable doing. I said, "You know what? This is not a way that I want to live my life. This is not the mom I want to be. This is not who I need to be. I can change this. I just need to accept that it's not going to be all or nothing, black and white, that it's going to be a journey and a process. And I'm going to do things the right way." And it was just then that I decided to start taking baby steps, which is something that I'm not used to doing. Baby steps. I'm very like black or white, all or nothing, very extreme. My brother also called me out, and he was like, "Rach, what's wrong with you? Like, you're not yourself." And so at that point it was all hitting me. I developed my own kind of routine through an exercise program that I found online, and I started eating more cautiously. I was present with my choices. I did a lot of research online. And in about 6 to 7 months, I lost about 35 kilos. And then I actually enjoyed the process so much. It wasn't really even about the weight at that point. It was having this sense of strength, this sense of physical strength, to actually be able to run around with my kids and lift my kids. And it's surprising how much moving your body and feeling in control of your body, how much mental strength that gives you. And I can literally say it has completely changed my entire life. And I lost the 30 odd kilos, and I kept going with it, and I was researching a lot. I did a PT degree at some point. And then COVID hit, gyms closed. Friends then started panicking because they had nowhere to go and didn't have the guidance that they usually had at the gym. And they said to me, "You've done this, you look great. Can you please help us?" And I was like, "Me? Help you? No." And like, it's still like, a year after I made this transformation. So in my head, I'm still 90 kilos. But like in reality, I'm like 55 kilos now, and toned and lean, and not like, So I said, "Well, okay, sure, we can start a WhatsApp group, and a few of you can come on, and I'll just give you tips and pointers and help you." And little did I know, it started with 2 girls, and then it became 4, and then it became 10. And then very soon I had a waiting list of people who heard about changes that their friends were making and could actually physically see the changes. And then it just developed into It's So Simple. So that's how this business started, is through my very own transformation. And it's been about 3 years now, and we've helped probably a couple thousands of women all across the world, including the UAE. We have very beloved clients there. And yeah, I'd say it's been an amazing journey for me and for clients and my coaches and everyone. So very grateful.
That's amazing. Honestly, hearing your story, what I love most about it is how relatable it is. I feel like we see so many kind of Instagram, like influencer model people, who add so many filters. But what I love the most about your story, and I have to admit, like, I've become such a fangirl, I've stalked your entire website, is the fact that you have the before and after pictures as well. So like I can actually see like firsthand that not only are you selling something that worked for you, I can physically see the transformation. I just love that concept.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think it's because I've been through that journey, and I have been where my clients are. I have experienced that physical pain, the emotional pain, the mental pain, the every pain. Like only 3 years ago, I can still feel it. So when they come and talk to me, I'm not like a 20-year-old gym person going, what do you mean you can't eat rice and chicken breast every day? And what do you mean you can't work out 10 times a week? So I get it. I really get it. I hear you. Let's do this sustainably to fit in your lifestyle. And I think that is something quite different and has gone down really well with women who want to make a more sustainable change to their lives.
I love your use of the word sustainable here. I love the fact that it's not just like, here's like, like you said, like a keto diet or like, starving yourself to a certain point. It has to be something that works with you regularly and that you will be able to maintain and not kind of, cheat, right?
100%. And the program is quite bespoke to each person and their kind of likes and dislikes, how much time they have in the week. And of course, we'll always try and challenge people and push people to a good place where they can see great results. But we have to respect, if someone has a newborn baby, that there's only so much she's going to be able to do in the week. Similar to the food, a very common question I get all the time is, do you give us menu plans? And my answer is no, I don't give you menu plans, because what good is it me giving you a menu plan telling you to eat 100 grams of chicken breast and broccoli when you could hate chicken and you could live in, somewhere else in the world where you don't necessarily want to eat those things. So instead of telling people what to do, we teach people what to do. And that way you could be anywhere in the world, in a restaurant, on holiday, at your friend's house, and you will still know the correct choices to make. And that is another thing that, it has to be sustainable. Teach people, don't just tell people what to do. And that for me is a massive thing.
I love that. I love that it's not just like, here's an instruction manual, 300 grams of sugar a day, like you said, but it's like, this is actually what you will be able to continue and maintain in your daily routine. But having heard you so far, you've talked about kind of the pandemic, you've talked about kind of your own like personal challenges to get to this point. What would you say was your biggest challenge in starting up this company, and how would you say you have overcome it?
So I think my biggest challenge setting up this company, and like I'd say over the last 3 years, is finding my balance as a mom, as a business owner, as a coach to, we've got almost 200 clients on the program at the moment and at any one time. So, there's a lot of attention that needs to be given to the business. And I'm the sort of person who, if I say A, I'm going to deliver A. Like I don't promise A and deliver B, because that's just not who I am. So I push myself to the limits. I'm quite hard on myself in that way. And I'm some sort of a perfectionist sometimes. And with 3 young kids and a family and, life in general, it's been definitely quite taxing. And I haven't quite found that balance yet, although I'm more present about it, so I can make changes gradually, and I definitely am. Yeah, and just growing the business, scaling things, and making sure I have enough like coaches on board to help with the process. So yeah, it's all happening slowly, but it's definitely been my biggest challenge.
I'm glad to
Every
hear you
weekend, my
say
kids
that.
come to me, and yeah, it is a challenge. And my kids feel it. They're of the age now where they're like, "Mummy, it's the weekend. Like, can you please not work? Can you please leave your
Mm,
phone at home?" Because my phone is my job is very online.
yeah, of
It's
course.
over the phone and the computer all the time. So yeah, definitely biggest challenge there.
What I love about your answer, I'm going to say what I love about almost everything that I say today because I just love this interview. What I love about your answer is the fact that you are acknowledging that it's not, the perfect formula has not yet been found, but it is a process and that you're being realistic with yourself. I mean, I personally think that kind of with what I've seen on your website and how far you've come so far, I think you are definitely much closer to finding the balance than you may think. But I do applaud the fact that you are realistic with yourself and that you're being nicer and more reasonable with your own mental health throughout this process.
100%. And again, it is a journey. I mean, in the beginning, there was no, it was all in, all work. And as soon as, the business has developed and I've got a few people on board to help, I'm able to take little breathers now, a little vacation, the weekend off, things like that. So
Mhm.
it's coming in, it's happening, which we're all very happy about. And hopefully it will continue along that way.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So having gone through kind of 3 years of building this business and having done something that really transformed your own life as well, is there any kind of funny or weird story that you can share with us today?
Yes, definitely. It would have to involve my very funny husband, Daniel. Um, so when I set up It's So Simple, he just sat by and watched this whole thing take place over COVID. And he's been blessed with like the most amazing metabolism. He eats whatever he wants. Literally, it could be triple fried ice cream with a fried ice cream, like you name it, everything has to be triple fried. And he doesn't buy into the whole like move and keep healthy thing at all. So he created an Instagram account called It's So Complicated. And while his wife was doing free live exercises for her community, he was doing a live of him sleeping, literally sleeping. And like, yeah, it was pretty funny. And a lot of my followers would go to his account and like literally be like, this guy is, and then, he'll always post things about, air fryer versus deep fryer and what are the benefits. So he's really the antithesis of It's So Simple. And people were like, this is hilarious. And then we do like bloopers on my Instagram, just to like, give people a little view into what is actually happening in the household because we both work from home. And um, it was quite hilarious actually.
Honestly, that's one of my favorites. So I've been asking this question on my podcast for almost 2 years now. That's one of the funniest stories I've heard. And I'm going to post just this segment of the podcast on my Instagram when I promote this episode. And I'm going to say, it's so simple. No, actually, it's so funny.
I love that. Well, yeah, he was very proud of what he did, and it's lovely though because I'm not just here as like a business owner. I'm here as like a friend, as a role model, as a community leader, right? Where I'm leading this community to like learn and to be healthy and understand about your body and all these things. And I don't it there are ups and downs the whole time. So you can't just show people the ups. You can't it's nice to kind of involve people and give them a very balanced look into your life.
Mhm.
And with that comes my family, my kids, Daniel. It's so complicated, the whole thing.
No, that
So
is true. That is one hell of a story, Rachel. And I love the fact that you have just said that you are a community leader and that you are not just a businesswoman, you're not just an entrepreneur. Of course, you are empowering women, but you are a friend, you are an advisor, you are the person that people can go to when they're really insecure about themselves. And having said that, as somebody who is almost the face of this movement, so to speak, what word of advice would you have for the people listening to this episode today?
I definitely say to everyone out there who's listening, if you have any health and fitness goals that you would like to move towards, don't be afraid. Anything is possible. And I say this with full confidence because if I could do it in the situation and state that I was in, and with 3 young kids under 5, anyone can do this. My honest advice is cut out all the extreme dieting, the fad dieting, just plucking ideas out of the blue and implementing them. Find yourself a great program that can really lead you down the right path, can really, handhold and give you the guidance and support and the proper fitness program that has progressive, that takes you on a journey versus all this chopping and changing of fitness programs. It really ends up getting you nowhere. Learning about nutrition, learning about your metabolism and how important muscle is. So try and attach yourself to something that can give you all of this knowledge versus just jumping into something without really understanding why you're doing it. And I think, it can really cut out a lot of frustration, a lot of wasted time, and a lot of those, I'm failing moments, because a lot of those I'm failing moments are just failing moments in your head. And if you had a coach to say, you're not failing, look at this, look at this, look at this, this is not failing, this is progressing, it changes things for women massively. And we see it every single day with our clients. So wow. Yeah, for sure. Just try and find a good program that you can kind of, attach to and move along that way and get educated, go and do your research and believe in yourself, because belief is the number one thing that is going to allow you to actually make these changes.
That is such a strong statement. Yeah. And it is so important for people to not just hear about one diet fad or hear about one routine and expect it to work for everyone and work for themselves. And obviously when it doesn't, like you said, they feel like they failed their own bodies. And it's so good to hear you say that it's about research and understanding what works best for you and believing in yourself. Like, you are your own worst critic. So if you in your head are saying, oh, it's, for 50 minutes on the treadmill, I'm done, that's your own mind telling you that. Whereas if you try to convince yourself, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, that is you pushing yourself. So I love that it's about the research and about you being your own cheerleader. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just things like the weighing scale, very, very tricky. Someone could be on a great trajectory and be doing everything right, and the weighing scale will play hell with them. But there's so many factors that can, make the scale go crazy. And if I was on my own doing this and not seeing the scale go down, I'd be like, not working. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going back to my old ways, because what's the point? But actually, we see such benefits. And, we do progress pictures, we do progress tracking, we do weight tracking. So if the scale is being difficult, we look at pictures, we make sure that their bodies are changing. And it's just such an eye opener to be able to have that support and that guidance. And it really relieves the stress from women, because this is a very vulnerable process and this is a very sensitive process. And I know that firsthand. So we are definitely, there to kind of relieve that from our clients and to make it feel like a fun, warm, kind, loving journey.
Well, thank you so much, Rachel, for sharing your story with me and the listeners today. I'm sure that we've all learned how to love ourselves and appreciate our bodies more throughout this process. And I think that people here should take a look at your website. So it's so simple, even your Instagram page, and check out kind of how they can sign up for programs tailored to their own kind of preferences and needs. And just thank you so much for sharing that powerful message today.
Thank you so much. I honestly appreciate it. I would definitely recommend signing up to the Instagram, because really give away so much information and education and just free recipes and free workouts. And it's a wealth of knowledge on the page. So yeah, come follow, come be part of the community.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for listening, and see you soon. Bye.